The Riftbreaker, an awesome new RTS tower defense hack and slash hybrid. It reminds me so much of a StarCraft Diablo mashup. This is something right up my street in terms of content and gameplay. So I put together some quick tips to help you on your way with this game. Starting off, you're spat out of the rift onto this brand new planet surrounded by alien plants and life, and the game will let you know that you need to set up your base ASAP. So my first tip is to scout. You are looking to set up as close as you can to the two basic resources, carbonium, which is grey with blue tints, and ironium, which is orange. This won't be the only factor in deciding your base location either, there are environmental factors too. You will want to find any large rocky areas, as these will be natural walls that can't be broken, and will serve as a defensive barrier for your base, with one less area that you will need to build walls at. Now it may look like there's not enough room to build with all these plants and trees around, so cut them down with your mecha sword. Not only will this clear the area, giving you better visibility, these plants will also drop resources themselves, and we will need every bit of help we can get. The most common drop you will find is plant biomass, and these show up as glowing green leaves on the ground, and you can cut down nearly everything including grass to get them. But be warned, some of the plants out there can explode, so make sure you take these out from range to avoid damage. So with your base position picked, you will need to get some resources to build your command center. The game shows you can just hold space while over a mineral deposit like carbonium to mine it manually, but what it doesn't tell you is that you can still build while mining. This can be useful when setting up those first few base buildings like power and carbonium mines, and save you those precious seconds on the harder difficulty modes. Another thing the game doesn't really tell you is that you can click and drag to build rows of buildings. This is helpful for both walls as well as things you may need a few of like wind turbines and solar panels. Which brings me to power. At the start, power can be a limiting factor in expansion early on, and it's time to put to good use that biomass we have been harvesting from clearing trees and bushes. While the game tells you about wind and solar, it doesn't touch on the plant biomass generator. It does require a little ironium and a little bit of research, but that's simple enough to get, because this thing will pump out 100 energy per second for just one plant biomass, significantly upping your energy at the start of the game, which can help you save space and carbonium for use on other things like walls and turrets you will need to defend your base, or offset some of the big energy costs of the communication hub which does your research. And don't forget to store some power for a rainy day either. Both rain and nighttime will stop your solar from producing power, and when storms happen, your wind turbines will produce extra energy. So don't be afraid to put one or two storage for every power generation building you get, to give you a good store of backup energy. You will need it for when your guns are all firing, using more energy than when they are idle. With your resource production up and running and your power needs met, it's worth doubling up your walls and gates. Don't forget, gates can be placed on walls and it will take out the wall automatically. And when placing these, make sure the extended base part is pointing away from the wall so you can place two back to back. You can rotate these along with any building with the scroll wheel. As your base gets bigger, you may want to start compartmentalizing it. So if you get mobs break through a section of wall while defending the complete other side of your base, they don't get access to everything. You can either run walls and gates between various sections of the base, or you can block off blocks of buildings like power generation and mineral storage separately. Both work as a great backup line of defense for when things get a bit crazy. And believe me, things will get very crazy in this game. As you build up, you'll want more resources that are further out from your base, and you may be tempted to run a power line from your main base if these are close. It's better to make them self-sufficient, as you don't need a connection to the main base to collect the resources. And the turret limit is also map wide and not per base, which is awesome. With all these bases spread out all over the map, it's going to become a pain to get to them in time for an attack sometimes. You can make life easier by building rift portals. Not only is the fast travel amazing in this game, but you will need to zip around. You can jump to your rift portals from anywhere on the map, and just like old school Diablo portals, you leave a rift signature behind that you can also jump back to make getting around so easy. Just hit tab to bring up your map and click your rift portals to jump to them. And don't forget, you always have one at your main base via your command center too. As you work your way through the game, you will have unlocked higher tier versions of your buildings, and you can build these straight away without having to build the base version first, then upgrade. This will save you so much time when putting down fresh walls and turrets, when you can place the upgraded ones first, and all you have to do is hold down the Alt key while placing. Never forget to keep researching, and there are some quick wins here too. A lot of the mods and weapons you can get for your mech are pretty quick to research, and can give you speed and HP boosts pretty quickly. And for my last tip, research and build the spear ASAP. It's OP as hell with great reach and a frost damage slowdown debuff. It makes short work of small enemies and makes the bigger ones easy to run circles around. I hope these tips help you out on this brutal but highly enjoyable game. I'm sure there are loads more tips out there, so feel free to put them in the comments below. And I'll see you in the next one. Kenetor, out.